Marcus Langston arrived in a sharp suit, poised to headline a tech conference, but hotel staff barely glanced at him, directing him to wait outside. What unfolded next stunned his entire company. It was 7:55 a.m. when the 42-year-old stepped from his silver Audi onto the hotel's curved driveway in downtown San Jose. He smoothed his charcoal suit, the fabric gleaming faintly in the morning sun. Polished shoes, crisp shirt, every detail screamed purpose. Yet the valet stood frozen, eyes elsewhere, ignoring Marcus entirely. The valet fiddled with his phone, then waved at a car behind Marcus. "Can you park that one?" he called to a co-worker, dismissing Marcus without a word. Marcus gripped his keys, his gaze shifting to the hotel's sleek glass doors. No banners, no fanfare, just a quiet lobby promising a day of high stakes. He parked his car himself, crossed the drive, and pushed through the entrance. The concierge's smile flickered, then faded as Marcus approached, her eyes avoiding his. "Can I assist you?" the desk clerk asked, barely lifting her head. "I'm here for the TechWave Summit," Marcus said. "You've got the Sequoia room booked for us." Her eyes flicked up, then narrowed. "Are you with a supplier?" she asked. "No, I'm the CEO," Marcus replied. She blinked, unmoved. "The room's not ready. Could you wait outside?" No apology, just a curt nod. Marcus paused, his voice steady. "I'm also the keynote speaker." Her tight smile didn't budge. "We're still setting up," the clerk repeated. "Please wait outside." A staffer in a blazer, radio clipped to his belt, eyed Marcus. "You with security?" he asked quietly. "I'm Marcus Langston," Marcus said, calm but firm. "I'm running today's summit." Silence. The man tilted his head toward the door. "We'll get someone to fetch you, sir." Marcus exhaled slowly. People were arriving, executives, investors. A white man in a tweed suit got handshakes and smiles. No one asked him to step outside. The lobby doors shut softly behind Marcus as he stood on the pavement again. He checked his watch, 8:09 a.m. His speech was 51 minutes away. A cold resolve settled in, not anger, but something sharper. Across the street, a jogger dodged a cyclist. A delivery truck rumbled by. Life churned on. Yet Marcus, a man who'd built an empire from nothing, stood sidelined because he didn't match their mental image of a leader. He adjusted his tie, his mind already turning. His phone vibrated. "Boss," came his assistant Nate's voice. "They roll out the welcome mat yet?" Marcus stared at the glass doors. "Not quite." A pause on the line, not surprise, just quiet understanding. Nate knew Marcus's tone, level, clipped, meant something was brewing. "They told me to wait outside," Marcus added. Another pause. "Want me to head over?" Nate asked. "No," Marcus said. "Stay with the investors. They're arriving soon. I've got this." He hung up, straightened, and walked back inside. The same clerk spotted Marcus but didn't soften. "I asked you to wait outside, sir," she said, fingers tapping her keyboard. "And I did," Marcus replied evenly. "Now, I'd like to speak to the event manager." He leaned in slightly. "I'm Marcus Langston, founder and CEO of Langston Innovations. We reserved the Sequoia room and 3 floors of suites for this summit." Her eyes met his, but doubt lingered, no apology. "Mr. Langford?" she ventured. "Langston," he corrected, voice like steel. She hesitated, then signaled the blazer-clad staffer. "Get Sarah from events," she said. The man nodded and left. A porter rolled by with a cart of briefcases. Marcus stepped aside, spotting 2 of his board members exiting the elevator, summit badges pinned to their jackets. They shook hands with a hotel manager who'd appeared from nowhere. Marcus raised a hand, The manager glanced, paused, then turned away. Marcus faced the clerk again. "I'm not a vendor. I'm not security. I'm the reason this summit exists." The clerk's lips parted, but no words came. The staffer returned. "Sarah's coming," he said, then added, "You really the CEO?" Marcus's smile was thin. "I didn't just start this company. I coded its first algorithm, signed your hotel's contract, and picked this place for its supposed professionalism." Their eyes widened. "I manage $7 billion in assets," he said. "I almost believed you could help me grow that." The silence wasn't doubt now, it was unease. The clerk shifted, unsure how to respond. Before she could speak, Sarah, the event manager, hurried in, clutching a tablet. "Mr. Langston, I'm so sorry for the mix-up. We didn't know you'd arrived. The Sequoia room's ready. Coffee's out." The staff who'd dismissed him stepped back, faces blank. Marcus followed Sarah past the desk, past the staffer with the radio, past the clerk, whose cheeks now burned. He said nothing more. He didn't need to. They hadn't seen a man sneaking in. They'd missed the man who owned the moment. The Sequoia room sat at the hotel's conference wing, past a corridor of modern art and soft carpet. Inside, lights were low for the opening slides. Chairs lined up, a podium bore the TechWave logo, and a table held water bottles and name tags. Marcus scanned the space. Nate was up front, testing mics with the AV crew. Investors trickled in, murmuring over coffee. No one knew what had happened in the lobby. Marcus didn't head to the podium. He slipped into a side lounge and shut the door. In the quiet lounge, Marcus dialed his operations chief, Carla. "We're moving the summit," he said. No shock on her end. Carla knew that tone, all business. "Now?" she asked. "You want to shift 60 people with an hour's notice?" "Not want," Marcus said. "Need." She didn't argue. "Hilton or the Grand?" "Grand," he replied. "Tell them it's not logistics, it's principle. I'll explain later. Cancel our bookings here, suites too. I'll cover any penalties." Carla exhaled. "Got it." Marcus checked his reflection in the lounge's tinted window. No triumph, no fury, just fatigue. Tired of entering spaces that saw everything but him. A knock. Nate poked his head in. "Ready for slides?" Marcus shook his head. "Plans changed. We're leaving." Nate blinked, then nodded, catching the drift. "They didn't even try to fix it, did they?" "Nope," Marcus said. "Tell the guests to move. Grand's the new spot, and don't let anyone thank this hotel on the way out." Nate got to work, spreading the word with quick handshakes and whispers. "Venue change," he told one group. "Better set up a few blocks away," he said to another. Carla was on the phone with the Grand, securing rooms, rerouting catering, shifting gear. Marcus returned to the Sequoia room once, grabbing his tablet and notes. A hotel manager appeared, face tense, holding a clipboard. "Mr. Langston, I heard about the front desk issue. My apologies. It wasn't our intent to upset you." Marcus didn't pause. "You didn't upset me," Marcus said, zipping his tablet case. "You failed your own standards." The manager faltered. "Can we resolve this?" Marcus met his eyes. "You had your shot." His voice stayed level, no need for volume. The room, buzzing with investors moments ago, was thinning out. Marcus walked through the lobby where he'd been told to wait. The clerk watched, lips tight. The staffer with the radio was gone. Outside, a black SUV waited. Marcus climbed in, phone already ringing. The SUV pulled away as Nate coordinated from the passenger seat, rerouting guests. Marcus stared out the window, the city blurring past. No one spoke. The driver navigated San Jose's morning traffic, horns faint in the distance. Marcus's phone buzzed. Board members, investors, all asking questions. He didn't answer yet. The Grand was 5 minutes away, its staff already prepping. Back at the original hotel, the Sequoia Room's coffee urn sat untouched, pastries uneaten. The summit was slipping through their fingers and they hadn't even noticed. At the Grand, Marcus stepped into a sunlit atrium. Staff greeted him by name, no hesitation. "We've got the Pacific Room ready," a manager said, handing him a badge. Marcus nodded, scanning the space. Nate was already there, directing arrivals. Investors mingled, unaware of the morning's drama. Marcus's phone buzzed again. Carla. "Everything's set. AV's up. Lunch is sorted. Guests are en route. Caterers are on their way. Want me to tell the board?" "I'll handle them," Marcus said. "Good work." The Pacific Room was grander than the Sequoia, with high ceilings and wide windows. Marcus stood near the podium, watching guests settle in. No one questioned the switch. They trusted him. Nate slipped him a note. Hotel manager called. "Wants to talk." Marcus shook his head. Let him wait. The summit was his show, and he'd already rewritten the script. The room filled with chatter, deals brewing, futures being shaped. Marcus adjusted his cufflinks, ready to lead, his way, on his terms. Marcus tapped the mic, the room quieting. "Thanks for being here," he began. "I know the venue change was sudden, but I believe where we meet matters. This morning, I was asked to wait outside my own event. Not once, but twice. Staff didn't ask my name, didn't care. I parked my own car, reintroduced myself, but it didn't click." He paused, letting it sink in. A shiny lobby doesn't mean respect, so we moved because we deserve better. The crowd murmured, some nodding, others stunned. Marcus kept his tone steady. "I don't dwell on slights, I build solutions. Today, we're in a space that values us, our work, our vision. That's what Langston Innovation stands for." Applause broke out, not pity, but respect. Nate stood in the back, arms crossed, grinning. Marcus didn't bask in it. This wasn't about ego. It was about setting a standard. The summit kicked off, deals sparked, and the morning's mess faded. But Marcus wouldn't forget. Back at the first hotel, the Sequoia Room was a ghost town. Trays of muffins sat untouched, coffee cooling in urns. The desk clerk scrolled her screen, confused, as guests vanished. The manager paced, phone in hand, realizing too late what they'd lost. Marcus's SUV rolled through San Jose, the Grand's atrium now alive with his summit. He didn't look back. The story wasn't over. It was just starting to spread. A ripple no one saw coming. The original hotel's lobby felt hollow. The clerk tapped her keyboard, scrolling guest lists, brow creased. "Gina, the summit folks are bailing," she said into the phone. Gina, in the loading dock, froze mid-sentence with the AV crew. "Bailing? What do you mean?" "They're checking out, canceling keys just leaving," the clerk said. In 20 minutes, the buzz of handshakes and card swaps was gone. Summit sign stood lonely, the vibe drained, like air leaking from a punctured tire. The manager's phone lit up. "Sir, they canceled everything," a staffer reported. "Suites, catering, the Sequoia Room, all of it." He blinked. "That's impossible, it's summit day." But it wasn't. Calls flooded in. The clerk juggled lines, flustered as housekeeping reported empty rooms. "This guest left without notice," one said. "They won't pay for brunch," said "Talk to Mr. Langston," another added. A guard approached. "That SUV?" "Took him and others. They're gone." The dominoes were falling fast. At the Grand, Marcus stood before a glowing screen in a bright conference hall. "Thank you for adapting," he said, voice clear, no trace of resentment. This move wasn't planned, but it's telling. I chose that hotel for its name, its service, its location. But today I was reminded Polish doesn't equal respect. He paused. I was told to wait outside, twice, by folks who never asked who I was. I parked my own car, explained myself, but it didn't matter. A ripple of unease moved through the room. Marcus held their gaze. Some of you get it, others might not. But I don't believe in shouting to prove a point. I believe in progress. We're here now, in a place that sees our worth, that takes our work seriously. The crowd clapped, firm and earnest. In the back, Nate watched, pride in his eyes. Marcus didn't linger on the moment. He launched into the summit's agenda, the day's real work beginning. Back at the first hotel, workers dismantled summit signs. Coffee urns rolled away, untouched. Caterers stood idle, unsure whether to plate food. The manager clutched a fax from Langston Innovations. Contract terminated, effective now. No threats, no fuss, just done. He dialed his boss. "We lost it," he said. "The guest we didn't recognize? He was the event." The truth landed heavy. They'd ignored the man who'd brought 60 top investors to their doors. Now, those doors swung empty. At the Grand, the summit hummed. Investors swapped ideas. Pens scratched on notepads. Deals took shape. Marcus moved through the crowd, shaking hands, listening, leading. No one mentioned the hotel fiasco. It didn't need saying. The Grand staff anticipated every need. Fresh coffee, extra chairs, sharper projectors. Marcus caught Nate's eye, a quick nod shared. This was how it should have been. The morning's slight wasn't forgotten, but it fueled focus, not distraction. The summit was theirs again, stronger for it. Late afternoon, Marcus sat in the SUV's back seat, suit jacket off, shirt collar open. Nate scrolled emails beside him. "You want a statement out?" Nate asked. "People are posting. Someone from Klein Partners filmed you leaving." Marcus shook his head. "Let it be. I'm not chasing clicks." He leaned back, eyes on the city sliding by. Kids skateboarded on the sidewalk, a vendor hawked tacos, life rolled on. But inside the car, a quiet weight lingered, unspoken but real. Nate broke the silence. "Why not rip into them? They earned it." Marcus stared out the window, then spoke slow. "When I was 22, I walked into a big firm with a resume that screamed, 'Hire me.' Top grades, internships. The desk clerk thought I was dropping off lunch. I waited 3 hours. Interview never happened. They forgot me." Nate stayed quiet. "I could have raised hell, but I didn't. I found other doors, kept moving. That's how you beat it." Nate shifted. "But this wasn't just one clerk. It was the whole place, the whole morning." "Exactly," Marcus said. "That's why I walked away. I didn't need their validation. I needed everyone watching to see what it looks like when you don't beg for respect you've earned." He glanced at Nate. "My uncle used to say, 'You can't make folks see you, but you can choose where you're not invisible.' That's what we did today." Nate nodded, letting it sink in. The SUV stopped at a light. Across the street, a billboard touted a tech incubator. Fresh faces, bold fonts, big dreams. Nate grinned. "You ever think we'd be the ones running the show, not pitching to it?" Marcus's lips twitched. "Every damn day. Still feels like a hustle sometimes." They pulled up to Langston Innovations Tower. Glass, steel, understated power. The lobby clerk hit the elevator button as they walked in. No questions, no pause. This was their space, built their way. In the elevator, Nate spoke up. "You ever gonna tell that story? The 22-year-old version?" Marcus paused. "Not for pity, for truth. People think it's just one bad moment, a rude clerk, a missed chance. It's not. It's a pattern, polished and buried. You can't fix what folks won't name. He stepped out, briefcase in hand. But you can show them how to walk away, head high, no regrets. The doors closed behind them, the office waiting, alive with purpose. The ripple grew quietly. By midweek, 4 firms yanked their bookings from the original hotel. No fanfare, just emails saying, "We're going elsewhere." Boardrooms buzzed, not vague, but pointed. "Heard what went down with Langston's crew," one exec said. "Can't have that tied to us." "What's the backup spot?" another asked. The hotel's sales chief pitched Marcus free suites, comped dinners, even gym passes. Carla trashed the email without a reply. Discounts don't fix broken trust. Word spread to tech blogs. A niche site ran a piece. Not a hit job, just facts. The mix-up, the move, Marcus's silence after. It hit inboxes, then group chats, then bar talks where young black founders toasted Marcus. Not for a viral rant, but for skipping the noise. He didn't slam the door. He left it behind like it wasn't worth his time. That was power, the kind that didn't need a megaphone to echo. At Langston Innovations, the boardroom was calm. Marcus sat at the head, joined by 5 staff and 2 VCs from Portland. One cleared his throat. "Heard about the hotel switch. People are still buzzing." Marcus leaned back. "That an issue?" "Nope," the VC said. "Showed us more about you than any pitch could." Another nodded. "Cool head like that? That's what seals deals." Marcus didn't preen. This wasn't a win. It was just him, refusing to play small. That night, Marcus strolled the office, pausing at a whiteboard crammed with charts and notes. Nate sipped tea from a cracked mug. "Saw the article," he said. They skipped the valet part. Marcus shrugged. "Always miss something. Doesn't change the point." Nate grinned. "The right folks got it." Marcus nodded. "When we started this, I didn't want flash. I wanted people to feel seen, not sized up. That's what lasts." The office hummed, a testament to that truth. Marcus turned to his office, flicked off the lights, then paused. "Let's keep pushing," he told Nate. But one more talk waited, someone who'd remind him why days like this hit deep. The next morning, Marcus stood by his office's wide windows, coffee steaming, sky a dull gray. A knock came. "Come in," he said, not turning. Devin Carter, 24, a junior coder, stepped inside, clutching a notebook, eyes darting, unsure if he'd picked the right moment. Devin hesitated. "I heard about the hotel," he said. "We were talking in the break room." Marcus turned, nodding for him to sit. Devin set his notebook down but didn't open it. How do you not let it eat at you?" he asked. Marcus's smile was faint. "You think I brushed it off?" Devin blinked. "Didn't you?" "No," Marcus said. "I just didn't let them see it." He sipped his coffee, letting the quiet settle, steady and warm. "They saw a guy who didn't fit their script," Marcus said. "Not the work, not the contracts, just their idea of who runs things. That's on them." Devin leaned in. "So, why not call it out? Let everyone know?" Marcus set his mug down. "Because the world already knows. The fight's not proving they're wrong. It's showing the next guy you don't need their nod to shine. You don't beg for a seat when you built the table." Devin nodded, slow, the weight landing. "You handled it smooth," he said. "Me? I'd probably lose it." Marcus chuckled. "That's the trick. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just don't trade your cool for their mess." He tapped Devin's notebook. "What's this?" Devin snapped to attention. Revised algorithm from your feedback last week." Marcus flipped it open. "Good. Let's get the team in this afternoon." Devin stood, lighter, like he'd shed something heavy. At the door, Devin paused. "Thanks," he said. for showing us how to move without bending. Marcus gave a quiet nod. Devin left, and the office hummed beyond the glass. Coders typing, phones buzzing, dreams taking shape. Outside, cars crawled through San Jose, oblivious to the morning storm. But those who'd heard Marcus's story, who'd seen his stand, they'd carry it. Not just a tale, but a map for navigating rooms that only half see you. Marcus turned back to the window, coffee cooling. The city stretched below, a mix of grit and gloss. He didn't feel like a hero, just a guy who'd learned early to keep moving. The hotel's fumble wasn't new, it was just louder. He'd faced worse. Job fairs that ghosted him, banks that stalled his loans, rooms that paused when he entered. Each time, he didn't shout, he built. Langston Innovations wasn't just a company. It was proof you could outgrow the box others drew. The notebook lay open, Devin's edits crisp and sharp. Marcus scanned them, already seeing the next step. He didn't need the world's applause. His team's trust, their hustle, that was enough. The hotel would fade, a footnote. But the summit, the grand, the deals sealed there, those would echo. Because Marcus didn't just walk away, he walked toward something better, dragging no baggage, just clarity. And that clarity would outlast any lobby's slight. Devin's words hung in the air. Marcus leaned back, eyes steady. "You don't need to tear into folks to win," he said. "The real flex is letting their mistake be their weight, not yours." Devin frowned. "But doesn't that let them off?" Marcus shook his head. "It's not about them. It's about what you carry forward. Build spaces where no one feels like an outsider. That's the fight." Devin sat quiet, the lesson sinking deep, heavier than he'd expected. Marcus tapped the notebook. "This algorithm, it's solid. You didn't wait for a green light to tweak it, right?" Devin nodded. "Exactly," Marcus said. "That's leading, not yelling at walls, but carving doors." He stood, pacing to the window. "I didn't start this company to flex suits or bank accounts. I started it so nobody here feels like they're auditioning for their own life." Devin's eyes flicked up, catching the fire in Marcus's voice. Not loud, but unyielding. "You'll hit rooms that don't get you," Marcus said. "They'll see half the picture, your face, not your work. Don't waste breath on them. Build bigger, better, louder than their noise." He turned, smiling faintly. "That's what you're doing here, Devin. That's what we're all doing." Devin clutched his notebook, nodding, a spark in his chest. Marcus gestured to the door. "Go set up that team meet. We've got work to do." Devin left, steps firm. Purpose locked in. Marcus stood alone, city sprawling below. This wasn't just one hotel, one day. It was every time someone sized him up and missed the mark. He didn't need to rewrite their story. He was writing his own, with every deal, every hire, every line of code. If this hit you, if you felt unseen in a room meant for you, share it. Talk it. Subscribe for more stories of quiet power that don't just speak, they reshape the game. Marcus Langston's stand in that San Jose hotel lobby wasn't just a moment. It was a seismic shift, a quiet thunder that echoed beyond the glass doors. Two lessons burn bright from his story, carved from the pavement where he was told to wait. First, real power doesn't shout, it moves. When the clerk dismissed him, Marcus didn't raise his voice or demand a spotlight. He relocated his entire TechWave Summit, 60 investors, $7 billion in assets, to the Grand, 5 blocks away, in under an hour. That wasn't rage, it was resolve, colder than a February dawn, proving you don't beg for respect you've already earned. He built Langston Innovations from a single line of code, not to impress, but to ensure no one else would stand outside a door meant for them. Second, leadership means building doors, not breaking walls. At 42, Marcus had faced this before. Aged 22, waiting 3 hours for an interview that never came, mistaken for a lunch courier. He didn't curse the clerk then, nor the hotel staff now. Instead, he mentored Devin Carter, 24, in his office's gray light, urging him to create spaces where no one feels invisible. "Don't trade your cool for their mess," he said, his words sharp as a switchblade. This wasn't about settling scores, it was about rewriting the game. Across San Jose's streets, kids skateboarded, oblivious, but Marcus's choice rippled. 4 companies canceled bookings, blogs whispered his name. He didn't need a viral clapback. His absence from that hotel, his presence at the Grand, spoke louder than any megaphone. In America's tech heart, where dreams are coded and deals sealed over coffee, Marcus taught us, walk away from disrespect, but never from your purpose. What's a moment you turn disrespect into strength, like Marcus Langston did? Share your story below, hit that like button, and comment to spark the convo. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more true tales of grit and power, each one packed with lessons to fuel your hustle. Join our community, and let's keep building spaces where everyone's seen. Drop your thoughts and click subscribe for more value.